Hey guys, Wark or Mitch here today, and I'm coming at you guys with another gameplay commentary. It's going to be standoff domination here. I go like 42-3 or something like that, but I'm not going to really focus on the gameplay here today. I'm going to focus more on a little bit of a frustration of mine and kind of just run through why it's so frustrating. So, I'm going to talk about getting a competitive team together and why it's so god darn fucking annoying. So, first off, just to give you guys some background, you know, a competitive team, it's 4 people. You may or may not run certain roles on your team, and I'll get into that. I'll get into that a little bit later. But it's 4 people. You play competitive game modes, which is capture the flag, search and destroy, and hardpoint. And you have different strategies for all of that. And, you know, that's what the pros do. They have 4 people. They all run their different roles. Each team runs differently. They play a little differently. You know, it's kind of like in basketball, basketball and football, where you run different teams are more offense or defense oriented, or they run a different type of offense or defense depending on what their players are. And so I have to say, the most frustrating thing about this is that there's, like, okay, good, decent players, like, good Call of Duty players are honestly not that hard to find. You can, I mean, outstanding ones, very outstanding players, those are difficult to find. But when it comes to competitive, like, the skill, most people have the skill there, like, or the skill is easily found. You can easily, I don't know, like if someone's a pub match player and that's like all they do, and they decide, hey, I want to come play competitive only, you know, with the right guidance, you can do that. Like, their gun skill will be there, their aim will be there, but that's not all Call of Duty is. Competitive Call of Duty is, I get really caught there for some reason. I have no idea why. There's a glitch or something. But competitive Call of Duty is so much of a mind game within the actual game. Like, you know, Call of Duty itself, the mechanics are simple. You shoot at them, they die. And you throw a team in there, and it becomes, you know, it's all about the win. But then all these different ways that all the different teams take to go after that win are very complicated. But when it comes to getting a team and having this is the second part of it. You want your team to stay together. Like, if you want to be successful and be a successful team, you have to stay together, and you have to work past all the drama and the bullshit that each individual player might bring to the team. And that's why it's so frustrating, because everybody has quirks about them that are going to make them either hard to deal with or bring you some drama, or, you know, something that pisses you off. But that's all circumstantial. You can all work past that. The problem is, people don't want to. I mean, you can find someone who's amazing in the game, but if they have an ego the size of the Empire State Building, and they just never admit that they were wrong, or they fucked up a play or a kill, and that's why you lost, then your team's fucked, because you're just going to have frustration stemming off of that. Or players that focus on one play that happened at the very beginning of the match, and then they harp on it throughout the match, and because they harped on it throughout the match, you're now fucked, because if you're a player like me, you get very distracted when someone's constantly bitching or complaining about connection, or about, you know, something that happened that probably shouldn't have, that the game engine allowed. And as much as all those things piss me off about this game, and as much as all those things just make me want to rip my hair out, I love this game. And I play this game because it's fun, and competitive is fun, and I'm a very competitive person, and this is the medium I choose to do it. I don't play basketball or football, or, I mean, I play sports, and so for me, this is my competitive niche. And so, I mean, you have to look past all that bullshit, but a lot of people can't. And that's one of the biggest issues with competitive, or trying to get into competitive, is have to have a good team to do it. One person is not going to get recognized from solely playing the league play. It just doesn't. It doesn't work that way. And some people will tell you differently. Some people will say that they get recognized because they're Masters rank 1 or something like that. But in the end, that's just a caveat. It's not what's going to get you recognized. But yeah, all that bullshit that goes on with teams, whether it's one person's attitude or one person's, you know, I don't even know. It's ridiculous. Because if a team has good chemistry, like a team that has good chemistry, so if you have 4 people, and those 4 people have good chemistry, they've been playing together for 3 years, but they suck, or not, they don't suck, but they're not at the skill level of the next team, but that team is just completely bitching and complaining at each other, except they're all amazing players. That team's probably going to lose because they're not going to play like a team. They're not going to have a very team-oriented play. It's going to be pretty, you know, solo. That one person's going to get a 3-piece and, you know, try and amp everybody up. But if you have a team that plays well together, you know, the small kills really, really matter, and the small kills make sense because they fit together with everything else that team is doing, which, and I pick up an M27 here, and I don't know, I go off with it. It's a great long-range gun. But if a team that has good chemistry goes up against a team that is just, their chemistry is terrible, or they have all these frustrations, they might be really good players, but they're not going to play good because they're going to be so pissed off at one person, or they're going to have so many frustrations with someone that none of that's going to matter. They're just going to focus on the frustrating things. And, you know, some teams can get past that. Some teams can have terrible chemistry, and they can still end up doing good. But it's very rare. And
friendly care package inbound.
The one thing that you have to think of. Wow, that doesn't make sense.
UAV awaiting orders.
Like,
securing A.
Good chemistry is just, it's so hard to find.
Friendly UAV inbound.
That's also the second thing is, so everybody on a really good competitive team, everybody's gonna play a certain role. Like they're gonna, the general roles that I know of are anchor, objective, slayer, and support. Except support is kind of just a bullshit role, in my opinion. It either boils down to your secondary objective or a secondary slayer. But no one ever says that. But I mean, you come down to it, and a team with good chemistry is going to be so hard to find because of all these different bullshit things. So, frankly, my advice to you guys is, if you want to find good competitive people, league play probably isn't the best place to do it. League play is a good place to start out with competitive, but it's not somewhere you want to be all the time. Like, and that's why clans are a really good thing. So I'm gonna pitch this to you guys. Except this is not the point of the video. Valiance is a great place to find all that. You can find good competitive people to play with, and it's gonna be fun, and you're gonna have a good time doing it. But anyways, thanks for listening to me if you guys did. Peace.